everybody, it's Matty here with Altcoin Buzz. TGIF, happy Friday. We're talking today about whether fear and greed as variables can predict the price of Bitcoin. And speaking about fear and greed, there was a major data breach that occurred with BitMEX, and it happened via email. So we'll bring you up to speed on that. It's being covered here by AsiaCryptoToday.com as well as the Next Web, and a whole bunch of Twitter opinions are also on the table as well. It looks like there's a possibility that a hack may have occurred. We're not 100% certain about that right now, but that's certainly out there in the discussion. People are tossing the idea around. It looks like withdrawals were disabled as well. We're also going to look here on blog.talpay.com. Q3 quarterly review, traction and the shrinking supply of Tael. Let's first begin, however, with a snapshot of the market on coinmarketcap.com. We're sitting right now at $244 billion. Things are kind of down a couple of percentage points today, 1-2%. Bitcoin at $9,177 at 67.5% dominance. So kind of a ho-hum day overall. But when discussing the price of Bitcoin, have you ever asked yourself whether fear and greed can predict it? Here on altcoinbuzz.io with this article by Licia, fear and greed, how do they affect Bitcoin's price? And what about the concept of a collective mind? So there were a couple of analysts that put their minds to this and decided to take a closer look at two particular indices, fear and greed, which show whether the market expects growth or decline. They then compared the expectations of the crypto community to the Bitcoin price change over the past 6 months. And here's a translation of their research. Quote, "We checked whether market expectations coincide with the movement of Bitcoin and whether it is possible to predict the price. In this article, the leading experts of the cryptocurrency market took the data of fear and greed indices for the past 6 months and visualized it. They then compared it with the mother of all crypto price changes for the same period, the 5th of June, the 28th of July, and 24th of October. So we have a few important observations from this particular study. Number one, the greed index, which shows the tendency of the market to buy, is now much lower than it was between January and June 2019, during which time the growth of Bitcoin went from about $3,000 to $14,000, more than a quadrupling. Observation number two, at the end of June in 2019, greed reached a peak while Bitcoin set an annual maximum. After the cryptocurrency began to fall from 14K, the average index shifted into a zone of fear. And since then, even a slight decrease in Bitcoin price made the index drop deeper to the lower border. This suggests that the community was afraid of a recession, hence any sharp movements were accompanied by massive sales. And observation finally number three, Bitcoin has repeatedly deceived the markets. On the 5th of June and the 28th of July, Bitcoin reacted to the panic of the community with a sharp increase. A similar thing happened on October 24th. Bitcoin's rate grew by 30% during the day. Greed and fear definitely play a more notable role in this market than they do in most others. If you want to take a look at the original research here, which we have translated, we'll link to this original article in the description below. You can check it out. Now on to some unfortunate news. There's been a data breach by way of BitMEX, and it has to do with email. A few Twitter reactions first at AltcoinBuzz.io. BitMEX messed up with a very basic step of sending mass emails in CC instead of BCC, exposing a lot of its customers' emails publicly. And here at Lawmaster, I now have access to about 3,000 unique emails from the BitMEX leak. From what I can tell, there is more than 30,000 unique emails in total. 67% of emails from my sample size use Gmail, 7% Hotmail, 4% Yahoo, and 3% Proton Mail. Also here on Twitter at Woonomic. Just looking into this privacy breach by BitMEX, customers were emailed with other customers' email addresses visible in the to field. Again, this is the simple step that they botched up, just not including the shared list of emails in the blind CC section. They CC'd everybody accidentally instead. Here we're talking about it on Asia Crypto Today. What's going on? Now BitMEX in hot water for leaking customer details. It's always unfortunate when we have to cover this kind of content, but it just keeps happening in this space apparently. And this wasn't even really a high-level sophisticated hack operation. As far as that, we're going to talk about a potential hack in just a second, but as far as this goes, this is really just negligence on the part of the person or people sending out emails. So just when you thought Halloween was over, BitMEX has struck fear into its own customers' hearts after allegedly leaking their email addresses online. Customers who were sent an update by the exchange reported being able to see the email addresses of every other BitMEX customer in the messages carbon copy, or otherwise known as CC field. Here's an example of what this looked like, as you can see. And although it's just an email address, that's still considered private information and private data. It looks like someone at BitMEX failed to list customer emails in the blind carbon copy BCC field, thereby making everyone's email addresses visible to everyone else. BitMEX responding to the controversy here, we are aware of an email privacy issue impacting our customers. We have identified the root cause and will be in touch with any users affected by the issue. See our blog for more details, blog.bitmex.com. You also have Changpeng Zhao, CZ of Binance, weighing in here, who's just reminding us, and this is always just judicious advice, and it's important as far as being a diligent custodian of your data and your passwords and your information. Use a unique email address and unique password for each exchange. Use a password manager to remember the strong passwords for you. And I know that can get a little bit cumbersome, the idea of using a separate email for every different service or platform you've signed up on, but that really is a pretty good way to stay safe if you think about it. Here, we're looking at the BitMEX blog statement on email privacy issue impacting our customers. We are aware that some of our users have received a general user update email earlier today, which contained the email addresses of other users. Our team have acted immediately to contain the issue, and we are taking steps to understand the extent of the impact. Rest assured that we are doing everything we can to identify the root cause of the fault, and we will be in touch with any users affected by the issue. It seems like just a basic human error. It's not really the worst thing that could have happened, but negligence and just tiny mistakes like this happen really all the time. What can you do about it? It's embarrassing, but it is what it is. You can also read about that story here on thenextweb.com. Cryptocurrency exchange BitMEX doxes users, perhaps inadvertently, in mass email blunder. We'll link to this as well in the description below. But the story continues and the rabbit hole gets even deeper. Here at Crypto Deleted tweeted the following: BitMEX.com deleted after 3 minutes. They deleted this tweet in particular. Take your Bitcoin and run. Last day for withdrawals. So this was an unofficial tweet, apparently, because as we dig further into the issue, that seems to be a pretty stark warning. Here in response at Crypto Change X funds SAFHU, according to Crypto Haze. So here's the deal. Take your Bitcoin and run last day for withdrawals. This was apparently, the suggestion is that it was apparently a hacked comment, that it does not reflect BitMEX in any particular way. Updated, we are aware of an email privacy issue impacting our customers. We have identified the root cause and will be in touch with any users affected by the issue. Again, that's the same message that I read earlier. This take your BTC and run tweet seems to have been an anomaly, seems to have been deleted after the fact. But certain users, however, are reporting an inability to withdraw at all. Here, Alistair Milne tweets, BitMEX withdrawals have been disabled. In his case, that may be the situation, but you have in response others saying that it may just be for only certain high-profile accounts, and that for other people, the functionality is unaffected. So hard to confirm at this time. It looks like for some people, BitMEX withdrawals are disabled temporarily for the time being. Is it across the board? Probably not, but that's what we're dealing with at the moment. This is kind of a moving story. So hopefully this just boils down to human error and perhaps negligence, and we're not dealing with something broader, a larger scale hack. I'm not suggesting that that really is a possibility, but you never know in this space. So hopefully, as we read in the earlier tweet, funds are indeed SAFHU. Here now quickly on blog.taelpay.com, we're looking at Q3 quarterly review traction and the shrinking supply of Tael. We'll examine here some of the highlights. Q3 in numbers. Over the course of quarter three, we increased from 9,334 to 14,236 non-crypto holders. We often call our users mothers, as 70% of our users are women with children. This growth was largely driven by word-of-mouth user recommendations, with the average number of tokens held by non-crypto users being 48 Tael. This means that roughly 4,902 times 48 is about 235,000 more Tael, which were locked during Q3. And this is about a 0.24% representation of Tael's total supply. So what we have here is a massive overview of the health of the Tael ecosystem, which is performing very well. We've covered Tael, of course, in the past, and they're an exciting project that we're happy to feature from time to time and just keep you all abreast, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, as to what kind of developments and what they're accomplishing out there in the space. Some of the quick milestones here as far as technology include new high-tech labels, label prototypes, blockchain developments, which you can read about as well. There are also many business developments, including new partnerships that we're excited to present to you. You can see by the length of this article that it's a massive one, so we're not going to be able to cover it really in much depth at all, unfortunately. However, kudos to our friends over at Tael because they've accomplished quite a lot in Q3. And for more information on all the individual milestones and checkpoints that they've achieved on their roadmap, check this out. We'll link to it in the description below. Again, blog.taelpay.com. That about rounds it out for today, everybody. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications. Best of luck if you choose to invest, of course, but have a wonderful Friday, a great end to your week, a great start to your weekend. And as always, we hope to see you guys again soon in our next video. Take care.